As we mentioned, Latin Academy and Dorchester, two neighborhood rivals out of the neighborhood of Dorchester, who has such a rich history throughout the neighborhood. They have different parts of Dorchester, and one part of Dorchester that has a lot of rich history in athletics is SavinHill. They have a fantastic Little League in SavinHill, but this past spring they added another division to the Little League, and it's a very special story. We're going to take a look at that right now. For over 4 decades, the SavinHill Little League has been home to hundreds of Dorchester baseball players with dreams of making the major leagues. But in the spring of 2014, another group of Dorchester ball players had their baseball dreams realized when the SavinHill Little League formed a Challenger Division.
The Challenger Division is an opportunity for kids of all abilities with cognitive and/or physical disabilities to play the great game of baseball.
It's really based upon the belief that every kid should be able to play baseball and every child should be able to participate on a team.
While not the first of its kind in the U.S., the SavinHill Challenger Division is the first to hit the Little League Diamonds of Boston. The league is up and running thanks to Project Deep and Project Bind founder Brendan McDonough.
It really started with my daughter, Sophia, who is 8 years old, has Down syndrome, and has been watching her 3 older siblings play baseball for the last 8 to 10 years. And this year she came home and said, I want to play baseball. And her brothers actually then kind of looked at me, and we were all sitting around the house and said, well, why don't we start a Challengers division?
And with organizations like the Henderson Inclusion School and Project Deep already in place, the neighborhood of Dorchester was the perfect spot for the McDonough family's idea to take shape.
Fortunately, in Dorchester, we have the infrastructure that's there to build a successful program. We have Project Bind, the Boston Inclusion Network for Disabilities, out of the Boys and Girls Clubs, which would help source children who would be able to be in the Challengers Division. We have the Henderson Inclusion Elementary School, which is also a partner of ours, and obviously that's just a tremendous resource for identifying potential players for the Challengers Division.
We're always looking for ways to extend the school into the community. Brendan McDonough approached me and asked if we might be interested in having some of our students participate. And in one day we had tons of kids who really wanted to do it.
Our last partnership was Project Deep, the Dorchester Educational Enrichment Program, where we were able to tap into middle school and high school kids who would be buddies and help out. So when you take all of those different collaborations and you put them together, you can then form a league.
But perhaps the most fitting partnership for the Challenger Division is with the Richard family, whose charitable foundation in honor of their son Martin provides the funding for the new league.
My wife and I started the Martin Richard Charitable Foundation, whose mission is to support Martin's message of no more hurting people peace through education, athletics, and community. And Brendan had the idea to create a Challengers Division, the first of its kind in Boston. And when he brought the idea to us, it was a natural fit.
Janie participates in the program. Bill is pitching. Denise I think has spent the morning taking pictures. They wrote a very big check, which is going to make this, it's a free program. It's going to enable us to kind of take it to the next level. They're also there. And when you put that together, you get a true partnership.
Martin played baseball here. Henry, my other son, played baseball, and Jane has certainly played baseball, and she's part of the Challengers League this year, so it was a natural fit. It was in our community. We just felt that we couldn't let this opportunity pass by.
How the Challenger Division works is pretty simple. Each player gets one at bat during each inning, with each game lasting 2 innings, or as long as the Challenger players want. Before every game, each Challenger player is assigned a buddy, who, if needed, can help them at bat or in the field.
The buddies then get paired up with one of the Challenger players, and they meet them at the field, they warm up with them, they help them when they're at bat, they guide them around the bases, and then when they go out onto the field, they kind of shadow them.
Usually when they're up at bat, you'd let them, swing by themselves, but if they are having a little bit of a struggle, I'll go up and help them.
His buddy's actually been great. His buddy's great, and when we leave, that's who he's talking about, is his buddy. This is something that he's doing out of school, he's having fun with, and he's got somebody else with him that's doing it with him. His buddy's been great with him. His buddy's been really good.
All of the buddies are pretty nice, and I did steal a few bases today, and so learned the sign for steal and what apparently wasn't the sign for steal. Had such a great time this year, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
With most of the buddies being little leaguers themselves, the ins and outs of baseball are often discussed on the field. But while the challenger players learn how to connect for a single or field a grounder, the interaction they have with their buddy often runs deeper than just balls and strikes.
For the first week, we paired up buddies with challenger players. They were very afraid. They were afraid of the unknown. All the way to this week when they're talking to each other, laughing and joking, and they really have become friends.
The whole time they're talking with them, they're talking scenarios with them, or maybe they're just talking about dinosaurs, or maybe they're talking about what's going on that day. It's just, it's truly a buddy.
Even though this Little League division was first aimed at serving the challenger players, it's really been the buddies who have gotten the most out of this experience.
It's been so beneficial for the buddies to just accept kids with disabilities just as other kids, and not look at the disability first, but look at the kids first.
I think for the buddies, it's kind of showed them that, hey, while this individual may have different challenges or different issues that they're working with, they're just like everybody else.
It's really good, bringing me back to when I was young and getting into the game of baseball. And then also like a huge sense of teamwork.
While the SavinHill Little League Challenger Division has accomplished many goals in its first year of existence, the league's mission of providing every child the opportunity to play baseball is far from complete. With such phenomenal support from the Martin Richard Charitable Foundation and the Dorchester community, the founders of this uniquely beneficial program believe there's plenty of room for league expansion.
Once word gets out, we expect the league to certainly double or triple in size, so we've got some planning to do for next season.
You got to grow it according to the support system, but we have the commitment from SavinHill Little League and all the other organizations to keep pushing forward. So I'd like to double next year and kind of just take it from there. We'll take it a year at a time.